From the luxury supercars of Gran Turismo to the crumpled, decaying sedans of the Fallout series, cars have always had a place within video games. Sometimes cars take a backseat, if you'll pardon the pun, and loiter around in the background, not really doing anything other than to say, oh look, we developers have put a semblance of life into our game, but don't focus too much on the vehicles, focus on our game instead please, and buy all our products, thank you. And that's true, unless you're playing a racing game. We don't focus too much on the cars because they're simply not fun anymore. I mean, racing games have settled into this saturated formula, you see, with the Gran Turismos and the Forzas pumping out clones of themselves every year to quench the rabid thirst of the Motorhead community, while other gamers simply acknowledge their existence and push them to the back of the pile. This may sound horrible, but it's the unfortunate truth. Another dying genre is the prolific sports game. Yes, to some, the annual sports simulator giants like FIFA and the NBA series provide a wealth of fun and enjoyment until the next samey title gets pushed out by the big boys up at EA and 2K, but to the more hardcore audience, the games have as much potential and power as a fart caught in a hurricane. Psyonix is a small San Diego-based developer previously known for titles such as Ark Squadron and Whizzle. They aren't huge by any means, but in 2008 they released a game called Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket-Powered Battle Cars, which coincidentally and creepily focused on supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars. I mean, critically the game was deemed mediocre, but that didn't stop Psyonix though, and on February 19th, 2014, a sequel to Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket, that game was announced, breaking entertainment media records and sending the entire world population of elderly people who thought they'd never live to see the day into a flurry of tears and hysteria. Okay, maybe we made that last bit up. I mean, either way, on July 7th of this very year, Psyonix Rocket League was released, and it was good. As of September, Rocket League sold up to 6 million copies, which is overwhelmingly positive for a game of its stature and a studio of Psyonix's size. Now, what made this game a success was a result of two things, in my opinion: the game itself and the audience surrounding it. Rocket League isn't a particularly complicated game, with two teams squaring off in essentially a football/soccer simulator, with boost pads and other racing game staples floating around, but it is this simplicity that makes it so accessible. Everyone knows how to drive a car in a video game, everyone knows that the objective is to get the ball from point A to point B, and it is within this simplicity that Rocket League attaches itself to a subsector between the casual and hardcore gaming experience. Sure, it's pretty casual and accessible, but not to the point where competitiveness is omitted. I also think that contextually, Rocket League settled nicely in the market amongst other games available at the time. We knew there was a new Call of Duty coming out soon. We knew there was going to be an Assassin's Creed game and a Battlefront and all these other titles that were coming. But we simply didn't care because the market is incredibly saturated at the minute, with the general consensus being that if you weren't one of the AAA big boys up at the top, you weren't much at all. And Rocket League did something different. Rocket League was change, and Rocket League was revolutionary in a sense that it injected a bit of variety into the gaming scene. Furthermore, the internet backed it. Reddit blew up over the game, various gaming forums give it the nod as an underdog coming out into the gaming season, and it had the belief and willpower of thousands of online gamers, and it rode the hype train all the way to the end. Rocket League isn't applauded for its slick visuals, its soaring musical score, or its awe-infused set pieces, no, but it is held highly for its determination and will to stand up amongst titans, and that is why Rocket League was the biggest surprise of 2015.